welcome back inside of the Plastic Planet. I'm your host, Nick Nack, hanging out with you guys tonight. Guys, I got a fun video in store for you guys, hopefully. I got some Black Series I need to unbox for you guys, including a really cool new Dioramas that I think is pretty damn rad. And some other goodies as well. And then after that, it's Diorama. I'm going to be showing off a ton of my dioramas that I have. Some I've made myself here in the Plastic Planet, and some have come from, you know, Hasbro, if not even Sideshow or Hot Toys, and how I have them displayed in my collections. For my longtime viewers, subscribers, some of this might feel a little redundant, but I think it's going to be a fun video anyway, and so I hope you stay with me. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's do it right now. Alrighty guys, first up tonight, I'm going to unbox some Black Series figures. Yeah, I just picked these up just a few hours ago, actually at my local GameStop. And, you know, every time I say I'm going to stop buying Black Series figures, I go and buy like 5 more Black Series figures. It's like when I say I'm going to give up eating at fucking McDonald's, I go and get a 20-piece chicken McNuggets, man. I'm so fucking stupid. But anyway, yeah, these look actually really good. I really wanted to get this Mandalorian from the Glavis Ringworld episode of Book of Boba Fett. That was actually like one of my favorite Star Wars episodes from modern Disney ever. I thought it was really good. Too bad they kind of screwed it up later, but whatever. Yeah, no, I really like that, and I bought an R5-D4 as well. And so we're going to unbox these guys and get them into this diorama over here. So yeah, let's do it right now. Guys, as you guys can see here, here is Mando and R5-D4 removed from their plastic cocoons. Yeah, no, I think they look pretty good. Pretty nice looking Black Series figures. I saw this this particular Mando just the other day on the internet. I didn't even know it was coming out, and I just thought, wow, that's pretty good. I didn't really have a really good Black Series or 1/12 scale Dioramas in my collection, so fired him up. And yeah, I think he looks really good. And R5 looks great as well. So yeah, these two are going to be going into this shelf here. And yeah, Mando comes with a couple accessories, the Darksaber most notably, and a knife, and then his blaster. I couldn't find a place on him to put the knife. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but I couldn't find one. But yeah, overall looking really cool. And of course, R5-D4, you can plug all of his droid arms and attachments and whatnot into his torso, which is a really nice feature. Same as the R2-D2 that just came out recently. Yeah, I really love that a lot. That's awesome. Alrighty, and finally here they are plugged into the diorama and looking really nice. For some reason, the lighting I have in here, my choice of LED lighting, sort of does a number on my camera, so excuse the flickering there. But yeah, looking pretty nice in there. Oh look, I had another R5-D4 that I actually bought and kind of mucked up a bit, and used some basically an acrylic wash on it, acrylic paint wash, and weathered him up so he's hanging out with the Jawas. Yeah, that's rad. Oh, and one more notable that's in this diorama now. I showed him in packaging a couple videos back, but yeah, man, Book of Boba Fett. Black Chrysanthemum. So yeah, I have both the comic book version now, as well as the I guess the live action version of Black Chrysanthemum. And this one is considerably better, I would say, especially in the face sculpt and overall. But yeah, looking great, looking cool. And just for compare and contrast, here is the live action version with the comic book version. I guess that's correct. But yeah, I mean they're a little different, but you know. Actually, the comic book version looks a little more menacing, man. A lot of people complained about it because thought it was just sort of a Chewbacca rehash, but I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. And they're both good in their own unique, different ways. Just like all of us, huh? Alrighty guys, well first up tonight I got Boba Fett there from Mandalorian Season 2, I believe, as well as a Tusken Raider from Mandalorian Season 2. This probably isn't one of my favorite dioramas, but I wanted to start out tonight showcasing it, just because this was where my video last week got cut off at some point during the uploading process to YouTube, and it wasn't my fault, it was YouTube's, but nevertheless it did get cut off in the middle of the of me showcasing this guy, and I just kind of wanted to show it off first and foremost tonight. Try to do like a multi-tier kind of like a sort of like a museum-esque kind of diorama here with the Tatooine sands there, and then you guys can see down there there's a little critter living down below there, and he's got his little nest, little space Tatooine critter. Actually, that came with the Sideshow Collectibles creature expansion pack way back in the day from the Scum and Villainy collection, but nevertheless, really cool piece. And yeah, this is a nice diorama. Like I said, this one probably wouldn't qualify as one of my favorites, but I did want to start out with it tonight just because it got cut off last week. But yeah, looking cool. Alrighty guys, next up tonight, and I don't know if I've showed this off on the channel as of yet, but I do have my Mustafar Episode 3 diorama featuring my Dark Side Hot Toys Anakin Skywalker, or Darth Vader in this case. Looking pretty damn awesome, pretty damn menacing there. This was a diorama I actually did make myself, using quite a couple different kinds of material, 2 different kinds of foam, including insulation foam and more of a floral foam that I used for sort of that burnt up lava effect there. And then there is some resin in there as well, some resin that I dyed red to kind of give a bit of a lava effect to it. And yeah, that actually is an old IKEA plate stand in there that I turned upside down and basically tried to make into a railing. It's a little short for what I wanted it to be, but I think it turned out okay. But yeah, Anakin Skywalker looking awesome in there. And of course there's the lava droid that he came with. I don't know if that really fits there or not, but I think it looks pretty cool, especially when he's all lit up. But yeah, this is a nice one. And yeah, this is almost all me on this one as well. Alrighty guys, well next up tonight, I can't take a whole lot of credit for this particular diorama here. Most of this is actually just the old Hasbro, or actually at the time it was Kenner, the Death Star swinging playset that they came out with back in 1995 for the Power of the Force 2 collection. So most of that is just that diorama right here that you can still find for really cheap. The back side of it, which looks very vintage, is actually just a cutout from the Death Star playset. It was someone was selling reproductions of some of the card stock for the Death Star playset, the 1978 Death Star playset that is, on eBay. So I picked up a couple of those and just threw it in there, and it just sits on there real nicely. But of course, I've got the modern Luke Skywalker in there. I think that is the Mandalorian Season 2 3.75-inch Luke Skywalker, like the Imperial Cruiser version. And I think that's a Purge Trooper along with him there with that Vibro Axe, looking really cool. And then the R2-D2 came out. Actually, that is an R2-D2 from the Episode 3 line from back, I believe, back in 2005. But anyway, I love this a lot. I think this looks really cool. And you're going to see a lot of Luke Skywalker centered dioramas throughout my collection. Just because, man, I just got a hunger for some kind of narrative around Luke Skywalker. And I mentioned this in many of my videos, but he's just an underserved character at this point. I know he was the star of the original 3 films, but since then, we haven't gotten shit for him. You know, you can't count the sequels. And, you know, he was in Mandalorian for Season 2 for, 5 minutes, and he was in Book of Boba Fett for a cup of coffee, and that's it. So he's just become extremely underserved for being basically the main character of the entire damn saga at this point. I mean, come on. Ezra Bridger has more screen time than Luke Skywalker at this point. Man, that's a crime. It's a crime, folks. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, you're going to see a lot of Luke Skywalker throughout my dioramas because I like to kind of recreate his own adventures in my own headcanon, I guess. So, but anyway, this is a favorite of mine, even though I really didn't have much to do with creating this one. I just think it looks fantastic. Alrighty, guys, next up tonight, we kind of got my Coruscant Imperial Center Nightlife lounge diorama here with just a plethora of different characters all splashed throughout here. You know, none of this would probably make any sense from a screen accuracy point of view. Sort of have a little bit of a love homage there to Shadows of the Empire there with Princess Leia and Prince Izor there, as well as Lando Calrissian in his sort of in-between Empire Strikes Back / Return of the Jedi outfit there, kind of borrowing some of Han's threads there. But yeah, looking really, really nice. I just like this a lot. It's definitely like an upscale version of the Mos Eisley Cantina, so to speak, and you know, maybe something like what you saw in episode 2, but with a little bit more of an original trilogy twist to it, I think. But yeah, looking really, really cool there. And I do love that Prince Izor figure a lot. I got him from a Dark Horse comic pack that I bought loose, as well as the Princess Leia. She came with it too. That's a great looking Leia as well. Anyway, I've showed this off before here on the Plastic Planet, but again, a lot of this tonight is going to be redundant, but it's always fun to revisit some pieces. And this is a good one. This is definitely a good one out of all of my dioramas. And the backdrop there came from Cardstock Cantina, just to give them a little shout out. You might be seeing them again in this video, but yeah, this was a cardboard backdrop that I bought off Etsy from Cardstock Cantina. So yeah, looking cool. Alrighty guys, going up to the 1/6 scale. This of course is my Hot Toys Farm Boy Luke Skywalker with my Jazz Ink Land Speeder, as well as my Jazz Ink Moisture Evaporator over here. And this diorama kind of sits over here on top of this table, and it sort of sits amongst a lot of other items. So it's sort of a, I don't know, sort of an out in the open kind of diorama. But again, looking really, really nice. I do like this one a lot. I think I printed that backdrop just from like Walgreens. I found a little nice desert scene and tried to print it out and make it as stretch it out as far as I could to get it to kind of cover the distance that I had from this tabletop here, and to kind of give that land speeder a little bit more depth there. But yeah, I like this one a lot. This one looks really, really good. Sort of my thought behind it is sort of Luke Skywalker pondering his future right after he found his aunt and uncle grizzled to death on their moisture farm during the events of Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. But yeah, looking cool. I like this. Alrighty guys, next up tonight we've got sort of another foam insulation based diorama that I did in 1/6 scale. This was one of the earlier ones I did, one of the first ones I ever did, and actually this one's turned out really, really well. Initially it was supposed to be sort of a workshop or something, and I've got IG-11 in there in sort of a domestic role, looking really, really cool, carrying a bucket there with R5-D4 and Grogu, and then this desert frog in there as well. I forget his name, but yeah, looking really, really cool. I've had other characters in and amongst this specific diorama throughout its history here displayed in the Plastic Planet. But this is how I have it right now, and I don't know, it just looks cool. I don't have a whole lot to say about it, but I just think it looks really, really cool. I try to display my figures in a sense, in a way that sort of feels like they're telling a story. At least, I mean, not all of them. Some of them are just, you know, stuck in there in random poses. But I do try to display my figures in sort of various stages of some kind of storytelling. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, I do like this one a lot. This one looks pretty good, and it's held up really, really nicely. Alrighty, moving into, what would this be, 1/12 scale or Black Series scale? Anyway, this is another cardboard piece that I ordered off Etsy from Cardstock Cantina as well, except this one, of course, is not for 3.75-inch figures, but for 6-inch figures or Black Series scale figures. And yeah, looking really, really cool. That's an SH Figuarts Mandalorian Season 2 Luke Skywalker with an SH Figuarts R2-D2, and of course the Hasbro Dark Troopers with a battle damage Stormtrooper in there as well. I don't remember what that explosion effect I got that off of. I think it came with that battle damaged Stormtrooper in like a kit of some kind. But anyway, I really like this one a lot. I've showed it off multiple times here, but this is just a really, really great little piece. Obviously heavily influenced by the season finale of Mandalorian Season 2, but yeah, looking cool. Not much to say, it's just cool. And again, more Luke. Lots of Luke. Alrighty guys, next up tonight, this diorama probably took me the longest to create out of all of them, and this is 100% me. Yeah, you guessed it, another Luke Skywalker diorama, but this, of course, is Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy, like, bog world, at night, of course, amongst the stars of the Star Wars galaxy. But yeah, this was created out of foam, insulation foam, a lot of resin, which kept spilling on me. I'm such an amateur. I do have some space frogs sprinkled throughout there in various scales, and I think they all kind of work in there. But yeah, looking really, really cool. There's a Loth cat in there as well. I don't know if he really belongs there, but he looks good. And of course, there is Luke Skywalker himself training Grogu, and I think that's just really, really rad. That backpack came off an old Hasbro 1/6 scale or 12-inch scale action figure that obviously came with Yoda back in the day, but it sort of fits this Luke Skywalker pretty well. This is a Sideshow Collectibles Luke Skywalker, sort of the general purpose Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker they came out with a couple years ago that has been on and off their website. I don't know if it's currently available, but that's the Luke Skywalker that happens to be in there. But yeah, looking really, really nice. I do apologize I can't completely open this detail because of my couch, so here it is with a little bit of a reflective glare from the glass. But yeah, looking really, really awesome. Love this one a lot. It's one of my centerpieces, I gotta admit. Of course, right next door to that, again, I can't quite get these Detolf doors quite open because of my couch, but I have the Mandalorian Season 2 Hot Toys Luke Skywalker in there with the backdrop that he came with from Hot Toys. Again, you're going to see some reflection there. I do apologize. I did create a floor for it myself out of insulation foam, but yeah, looking really, really cool. I did get the Dark Trooper that came separately, and then of course the one that came with Luke, and I actually ended up putting the heavily battle damaged one on the legs of the standard Dark Trooper to kind of give that effect of Luke squishing him while he's still standing. And then of course there's the torso from the standard Dark Trooper down there as well. And you know, of course we've got to have Grogu in the shot looking on. But yeah, very, very cool. And that's actually a Bandai 1/6 scale R2-D2 back there with a die-cast body. So very, very cool looking figure. And I do happen to have, excuse me, I'm coming back out of the detail. I do happen to have a Chris de Guzman lightsaber in there as well. That's not a standard Hot Toys lightsaber, but yeah, looking really, really rad. Alrighty guys, getting down there. I showed this piece off last week as well, but I sort of love my little homage to sort of a droid world sort of scenario here with R2-D2, R5-D4 C-3PO, a pit droid, a BD droid, a spare C-3PO head in there, and just a lot of other odds and ends. And of course, little baby Grogu there standing on top of that table that I think is supposed to be from Obi-Wan Kenobi's hut, but I think it came with that Sideshow R2-D2 that's in there as well. So yeah, looking really cool. I like this a lot. This is just a fun set. I sort of have it in the middle of my Detolf bank here, and I really do enjoy it. It's my eyes are frequently drawn to it just because of the amount of stuff I put in there. And yeah, I mean, not to toot my own horn or anything. I mean, it's not the greatest diorama ever made, but I like it. It was a good effort by myself, and I do dig it. So yeah, anyway. But yeah, looking good. I like this one a lot. Oh man, this is a really good one up here. This is sort of my homage to sort of like the pre-celebration on Yavin 4 just after the first Death Star was destroyed. And I've got a really nice mix of figures in here, including some SH figure arts with that Han Solo and Luke Skywalker and R2-D2, and then that C-3PO is actually a Revel Tech, if I said that right, a Revel Tech that I got off Big Bad Toy Store. He's a tiny bit taller than he should be in there, but I still think he looks really, really good. And of course a Hasbro Black Series Princess Leia and Chewbacca. But really, really cool looking diorama. I love this one a lot. This one's a sort of a mixed medium diorama I did with insulation foam and some floral foam to give some different textures and whatnot. And then I just have some Spanish moss in there to represent sort of the vinage you'd see in the temples on Yavin 4, as well as some Rebel cargo boxes that I purchased either off eBay or off Etsy and painted them up myself. But yeah, looking really, really cool. I love this one a lot. It looks really, really good with that Star Wars light I got off Amazon. I see that light in a lot of people's collection. It's a great piece, and it lights up and everything. You know, it's kind of dusty, but yeah, really cool. Alrighty guys, and lastly tonight, sitting right in the middle of my Black Series collection. So we're talking 1/12 scale here. I of course have my Luke Skywalker, Mara Jade, C-3PO, and R2-D2 negotiating a treaty with the Space Ants. And I don't know, I just love this diorama a lot. These ants obviously are not Star Wars figures. They're like an artist co-branding effort. Not Star Wars, not Hasbro related. Picked them up off Big Bad Toy Store, and yeah, I dig them a lot. They're just really, really cool. They just seem to fit inside of the Star Wars universe perfectly, and I really love this diorama a lot. I kind of picture them as like space ants living in the middle of an asteroid somewhere, and as I've mentioned probably in previous videos when I've talked about this diorama, I kind of picture Grandmaster or Master Luke Skywalker there with Grogu and Mara Jade going there to negotiate a treaty for the New Republic to transport medical supplies through their region of space, or some kind of cool plot point like that. But yeah, looking really, really cool. Again, this was done with insulation foam, some resin to kind of give that green slime effect along the back walls there. A space portrait I picked up off Amazon that I kind of slapped in there to kind of give it a very, very astro looking effect. And yeah, I dig it a lot. It looks really, really cool.